All right, everyone, welcome back to Pirate University. We are here in our final session. Once again, we are live from Pirate University here in the Corporate AV warehouse in Westchester County, New York. This is our 11th annual training session, and honestly, our largest, and I like to think best class ever. Give yourself a hand. I tell that to all the classes. It works every time. Thank you all for joining us. Thank all of you guys for being here for the last 3 days. And I hope that everyone has benefited from their training. Live audience, is that true? Was it beneficial? All right, so maybe we'll keep going. Maybe we'll do the 12th. All right, we're taking notes. We're always trying to get better every day. I think we discussed that day one. And so this is part of that. And, before I forget to, I have to mention that we've had a lot of sponsors and a lot of different people have been part of the educating process, and we want to thank them. So certainly AV Educate and the whole team, ADJ, Atomic Design, Blizzard, Healy Sales, MacTech, Nationwide, Rentex, and our friends at Pixel Hue, really all were helping out tremendously. We had Barry Grossman here helping out. I mean, really, there's a lot of people that contributed, so thank you all very much. So this piece is our grand finale, and we call it the client experience. We spent time building stages, drapery, LED walls, scenic pieces. We've also gone through signal flow. We've gone through audio board setups, video setups, projectors, screens. Today we did networking and robotic cameras. So after days of technical training, now it's time to really get some direct feedback from the people who hire us and who work with us. And so that is why we're here today. And I'm going to introduce you to our panel. So first off, I would like to introduce Natalie Holland, Event Director of WestFair Publications. Natalie is an accomplished event director who transforms ambitious ideas into flawless experiences. Her work for WestFair's Business Journal has created the standard for high-profile events. Please welcome Natalie Holland. Yay. And great red shoes as well. Yes. I mean, second, I would like to welcome Jeffrey Cobelli, filmmaker and founder of Good For You Productions. Jeff and his company's core mission has been to bring purpose-driven visions to life through its filmmaking endeavors. He's also been a great video partner for Corporate AV and a good friend. So please welcome Jeffrey Cobelli.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
And last but not least, our third panelist today is Jennifer Jolly, Event Sales Manager at VIP Country Club. Jennifer's hospitality career started almost by accident while she was tutoring students in math and English. Many years of success later, she's helped VIP become the #1 corporate venue in Westchester. Please welcome Jennifer Jolly. This is an esteemed panel here, and they are donating their time to try to help all of us here in educating our future technical staff. So thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, so today's session is the client experience. Right? We're excited to have you guys, but the reason we do this is to remind everybody that we're in the service business. Because we talk technical literally all day long. But the reason that everybody holds their events and that we're hired to produce and support them is because they're their events and they have their own reasons to hold the events. And my hope is that we can kind of remind everybody of those softer reasons and softer skills because they're really important to the work that we do as well. So, we're just going to get started, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
Does that work?
Yes, so.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. If not, I mean, I'll just sit here and talk.
Come on, grab lunch. We can, taco place.
They're very good. Invito, they're our neighbors. Everybody check out Invito. Okay, so Natalie, let's start with you. Could you tell us all about your role at WestFair and what types of events you work on?
So besides doing all the great events, we are the #1 resource in Westchester and Fairfield County for business leaders and community leaders to get their news on the latest trends in technology and economics. and all that. And my role as the event director, besides making the amazing events, I do everything from soup to nuts. I pick the venue, I do the event format, I get the speakers, all the details. I get to work with great people like Jennifer. We actually had our women innovators at VIP last 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and it was great. And all even down to the nitty gritty details of promotions, and then awards, tickets, and speakers, and working with the great vendors. And I couldn't do any of it without my great team behind me to support me and get through all of those things.
Well, I've been to a lot of your events, and they are really cool.
Thanks.
I've even seen you emceeing your events too. So
Yeah, time to time, you know.
don't undersell yourself. And Jeffrey, we've worked on a lot of different projects together, but maybe give our audience a sense of what a filmmaker's role is in events.
Yeah, the filmmaker is going to support, obviously, the event and the story that the event and the organization is telling. And that's really what my company strives to do all the time. It's so great that today is called the client experience, because that's everything that matters. We're not just selling a product, we are literally selling an experience, everybody here and what we're doing. And having that service-minded approach really helps. So a video, they have a goal, fundraising goal, usually in mind, but the way to help support that is to tell a captivating story that is it's not informative, but also emotional. And to get them kind of emotional at the end and then ask for money. And that's the way we do a lot of these nonprofit fundraising videos.
Well, I've seen your videos, and they make a lot of money, so you're doing something right.
That's good.
Excellent, excellent. And Jennifer, we're at your spectacular venue all the time.
Yes.
Tell us about your role in the events that take place at your venue.
Sure. So we sell all types of events. So from weddings to birthday parties, baptisms, christenings, proms, and of course corporate. So we do a lot of galas, fundraisers, expos. And when I started at VIP, that was the real challenge. So I've been there almost 4 years, and they had literally like no corporate business. So it was kind of my role to go out there and partner with all the companies, nonprofits, to get them to come to VIP. And it really is a partnership, because audio-visual is a part of every corporate event. And I think that you're right, the client experience is very important, and all has to collaborate together or else it doesn't work. What's great about corporate is that it's a repeat business. So if you do a great job the first time, they usually rebook with you, and they continue with you for years.
Well, I think that's something that
excuse me.
all of us actually want.
And the same thing for
every
you.
capacity.
They keep rebooking you. It's a no-brainer.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's easy. I think it's if you're great at what you do, it's easy to get the client, but it's harder to keep one. You have to continually innovate and change it up.
I think that's an excellent point, and I think we'll come back to that, because it's a good way to look at it. And we're used to the innovation side because of technology, but from a different perspective, I think that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Jeff, I'm going to come to you this time. What do you think, from your perspective, makes an event successful?
It's got to not feel like it was an event. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing as when I make a video or a film. The way I know I'm making something good is when you forget that you were watching something. But it's got to be, you're going to hear me say this a lot, it's about the experience. So the reason why I want to and desire to partner up with you and your company is because you're going to show my videos. You have to make them look and sound good. I've partnered up with other AV companies who maybe, if it was an outside event, the projector, you couldn't see it visibly, or outside not enough speakers, not big enough monitors. And if I partner with a weak AV company, my videos don't play. We don't maximize the effort of the event. So what makes a successful event is everybody on point, everybody giving that client what they need in that moment. And that could be everything from the video on time to, hey, we were going to put that stand over there I mean, everybody's going to do what they say when they're going to do it. If you can establish that value with a client, and that comes from everybody, from the person putting a water on a table because it's the event and catering staff, to setting up the projector. Everything has to be flawless. That maximizes what they're going to do, whatever their event is, whether it's corporate or nonprofit. So if you're setting them up for success and they do it, that's how you. Sorry, I have severe ADD. You're talking about
So
retaining
do
a client.
most people in this room, to be honest.
No, because it's all connected. So retaining a client, you know how you do that? You keep showing up and you keep executing every time, and they don't have to worry about you anymore.
That's an important
One of the
word.
best things that a client said to me recently is, we feel so good about hiring you because we don't have to explain anything to you. You would just get weaved into our fabric. There's no like coaching up. So when you all can show up to an event with this team and you guys are just fluid and moving, you're doing such a tremendous value for that company and yourself. It's like the rising tide increase or whatever that is, all ships. So that's what you all need to do, and having that service-minded approach is going to get you there.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Natalie, you deal with almost exclusively business to business, so I think you probably have a little different perspective. Is there anything else you want to add as far as what you think makes an event successful?
I think Jeffrey nailed it. That was pretty
All right, I guess we're done.
Cool.
I know.
Nice.
No, you really make it for the guest experience. It's really important for our guests in our events to really feel like they learned something or they are able to take a value, something away from the event, whether they were an honoree or they're learning something at like our real estate event. Like everything matters, like even from how they're welcomed in.
Yeah.
You can have like a cool like champagne glass, like, for our 40 under 40 at Sarah Fresca, we had like the champagne glass like welcoming for all the honorees. And it's just like the little tiny details that really make an event successful, and all the prep work. There's so much prep work that goes on before an event that you really have to figure out. So there's little to none of the hurdles and problems that could possibly arise.
Well, there's certainly a lot of things that could arise if you don't plan for them. And I think most of our audience knows that it does take a lot of work. Was it a lot of work to get to this point to today? Mm-hmm. And that's only our piece. That's not the catering, that's not the video, that's none of the registration and, reaching out to people or selling tickets, which is pretty important too, because otherwise there's no money to pay anyone.
All these sponsors are going to be really upset if there's no one that comes to our event.
No, very true, very true. Jennifer, you have a variety between certainly the nonprofit side, which I know you guys call corporate, but the weddings and the social side as well. Because VIP, if anybody hasn't been to VIP Country Club in New Rochelle, it's a beautiful spot, right on the Sound. Fantastic place. Also the largest ballroom in the county, besides a good point to be aware of.
Cool.
But do you think there's any variables on the social side? Because a lot of times we might get involved in that too. Are there variables that are different than the business and the nonprofit?
Emotion. But I think for both, you have to really, first and foremost, from all sides of our perspectives, understand the client's expectations. Once you understand their expectations from the beginning, then you can execute in every way properly to meet their goal, and everybody's happy. And I go back to what you said, it's trust. If they trust you, they're good. They're calmer. They'll listen to you more. We're the experts, and they'll just be like, I feel so much more comfortable. So for me, that's what I'm selling. I'm selling trust. Also, when I recommend vendors, I will never recommend a vendor I don't trust. It's very big for me. I put my name behind it, myself, and for the company, and that's my word. I have to trust you.
So if you recommended someone and they didn't perform, how does that affect you?
Gigantically. Most likely won't come back to the venue. They get upset with you. How could you do this to me? Why would you recommend them? And I've had those experiences in my career, not specifically at VIP, but in the past. And it's bad for my own personal reputation. It's bad for the venue's reputation. And sometimes you can fix it, but most likely you can't. So first impressions are very, very important.
Does that sound familiar, everyone?
Can I add something to that? Do you mind?
Please.
There's there's a really cheap book that you could buy. I think everybody should read it. It's called A Little Red Book of Selling. The short of it is about getting people to buy from you. And the two main things that you need them to do anytime you meet somebody, whether you're trying to get hired, whether you're trying to sell, is to get the person to like you, first of all. The second step is to get them to trust you. Once you have those two things, they will move with you. So if you want to be hired, if I'm going to hire you in my set, I need to like you and I need to trust you. If I don't have two of those things, we're not working together. So I just wanted to add that because I think that's really important.
I actually tell brides that. I think it's important for an audiovisual company, so if we talk about the corporate or nonprofit side, an audiovisual company to actually do a walkthrough with the client. Unless you've been there numerous of times and they've been there before with you, that's fine. But when the client actually sees you come, like we did this the other day, Joe, with a client, and I could just see on his face, he was a little bit of a nervous client, and I could just see on his face he was so much more relaxed because he was like, I got you. And he knew exactly what he was talking about. I was there with him, and the ease over it, just like the stress went away. Plus, I already know what Joe's gonna come in and do. It's in the plan, and there's no surprises. So, and I also think that it's very important that the audiovisual company works with the venue because we have a service to do as well. The food has to come out at a certain time. Everything has to work together. So it's not just the timeline of the client. It's the timeline of the venue as well, because we have a reputation too. So it all has to work together, and then everybody wins.
Well, that's very true. And, we were talking earlier about timelines and how sometimes there are other factors besides. And, whether that is the banquet captain needs a meeting with the staff,
Right.
especially if it's temporary staff coming in. There's going to be an auctioneer that needs a rehearsal. There's entertainment. There's band. Everybody's coming at different times. They all want your 100% attention at that exact second.
They do, yeah.
And there's those timelines.
Yeah.
When are the doors going to open? When is the cocktail going to end? How long in between?
Right.
When is the video going to show? There's a lot of things, so you have to all work together.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you guys have volunteered your time to hang out with us. I mean,
Yeah.
we're pretty cool, but still, because it's been a good experience.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe thing to say. Jeffrey, you had mentioned about some of your experiences in the past because you've worked with different groups and how that, if it doesn't go exactly to plan, how it affects you. I mean, have you had a number of different experiences, whether it's positive or negative?
I've been in business now for 16 years, so I've had more positive experiences than negative. But, recently I brought you in for a client because my negative experience with the previous AV company not only hurt my video, but hurt a fundraising cause. And I referred in that AV company, and then they didn't do good by me. So now we talk about retaining a client. I said, hey, bring in corporate AV because they will do everything. That's my last chance. Like, we're talking about retaining a client. Man, I'm so lucky that one referral didn't, negate me out of their circle. But we have that event next month, and I'm so excited about that because for me, we talk about trust, and I don't have to worry about it. I'm not stressing out about you guys at all. I'm looking forward.
Does that mean I should be worried about
it? Maybe. But yeah,
13th. I know what it is. It's okay.
That event I'm looking, because that is a unique event that's outside. I brought that up for a reason. You had to do a walkthrough of that. You couldn't go into that place blind.
No.
So I need somebody like you, knowing that why I partner up with Joe in corporate AV is because he makes his job look easy. And that's like the best thing.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like
Facts.
if somebody's running
always-
around,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to think of these tips real quick. Like if we see you running around sweating, it's like, what's the problem?
Right, yeah.
But if you're just walking, even if you're panicking in your mind, but you're just going, walk, don't run,
They
please.
say that in catering too.
Yeah.
Don't run.
Don't you ever run. I will tell you to go home if I see you running.
Don't
run.
look panicked.
Don't carry too many bags in your head. Don't look like a mess. Don't look disheveled.
That's a really good point. I'm
Look
glad
like you know what you're
brought that
doing.
up.
Yeah, you know. We have carts. You guys, I'm sure, have carts too. I don't
Yeah.
let people throw 10 bags on their shoulders. It's not okay.
These are good points. And some of which we actually discussed, right? And that's why they're important, because the people who pay you and pay all of us notice these things. And what doesn't seem like a big deal, to them's a big deal, because it makes them concerned. One of the things we discuss is that pretty much every time we see people, and one of the reasons we don't do a lot of weddings is because they're highly stressed
Yes.
on those days. And sometimes they're not really themselves. They're wound a little tight. They have a lot on their plate. They're going down the checklist. And so we have to really be aware of that. And, that's part of what we're trying to do. And that's why this is so helpful. Natalie, I know you've done events in Connecticut, New York, and you go all different venues and environments. What have been your AV or production experiences in the past?
Well, the past 10 years, I've actually also had really great positive experiences with maybe a couple of like the negative ones. The positive ones are mostly with you guys and another company that we use when we don't need the beautiful red carpet. So sorry. But your team is like, I sleep easy when we have you, and I know at least my AV is going to go off superbly. Like everything's going to be fine. Your staff is knowledgeable, you're on point, you're very transparent, and so accessible to even prep. Like I can just shoot you an email and say, hey, like what about X, Y, Z? And you guys are very flexible and very, like you just all around a great company and team to work with because of the transparency. And you guys also look out for the client's best interest and the success of the event. So because you guys are so involved and you want us to succeed because you guys want to succeed, then we're on the same page.
We've always appreciated that. It takes, sometimes it's getting to know, right? You're getting to know the organization. The first event, you're always still kind of learning,
Yep.
not just the people, but the goals. And fortunately, we've had many years to work with your team and Dee and everybody else. And we've seen the alpaca, we've seen it all at this
Yes.
point. But your point about transparency is interesting,
It's important.
because we talked to our team about, there's a time to discuss things if they're not going exactly as they're supposed to. And there's other times that you should keep that to yourself and just continue to solve the situation.
Yep.
But there's a point, and it's
Yeah.
deciding where the point is. And transparency is a good word.
Yeah, thanks. It's always good to be like that proactive, to think ahead about those hurdles, but you're gonna run into things day of, and you can always go up to your client and say, hey, XYZ is happening, I can do this or I can do that, because it's coming from your expertise. Your client's gonna be like, I don't know what to do, but you as the expert will have those options for your client, and then they'll trust you more, being like, okay, like if I can't do this and this will be a better outcome, then go with that.
That's really helpful. It's really helpful. And fortunately, we've seen a lot of different spaces, which is why we like working in your space so much. Like, it's fantastic. We're not going up, escalators,
I was going to say,
trying to hold
easy load-in.
like a load in, and everybody's very pleased, But it's also how you're interacting with the groups, and some groups are harder. Some of the New York City venues are difficult. They have high turns in the same space. And some of them are very difficult. There's a high-stress environment. So, you're trying to know what will work best.
Yep.
And that plays into the transparency sometimes. Like, we could do that. However, it's probably not going to work out. So let's not do that. You know? Like,
And you save the client money too. Like when you
Hopefully.
think ahead, yes. When you think ahead, be like, well, that's not going to work. And then you just save them. And
Or
the
a
headaches
headache,
too.
a headache.
Yeah.
well, because you already have headaches, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's
sometimes.
already a lot of things going on. So, no, that's actually really helpful. Jeffrey, what do you think a high-level production experience looks like? Whether it's you're as a client or as a partner, because I think it plays into still trying to help define everything for our group.
I'm going to try to answer your question, but I don't know if I'm going to answer it.
So you're going to ignore my question.
Because
Thank you.
this is what gets overlooked by like even people in my industry that make films and how it looks. I spend a lot of my time worrying about how it sounds. Because back to just making a film that plays an event, I spend absurd amount of time sound mixing my films, like the horse making a sound, the door closing, all these things. So in the event itself, when somebody's at the podium, they're speaking. If I'm struggling to hear that person, that lowers the experience of the event. Production quality, the sound has to be there. I can tell a really good story with just sound. It's really hard to tell a really good story with just visuals. So a high quality experience is one, again, where I'm mindless of the fact that I'm in an event. So it sounds and looks so good that I'm just immersed in it. And I'm not hearing the humming of a bad mic. I'm not watching a flickering screen. The uplighting is all right. Things are just organized. I just think that it's back to the details, but also big picture where I just forget where I am. And when I look at the speaker, like, so to get somebody to cry in an event, and sorry to go back to that, but to get somebody to cry in an event, they have to forget that they're surrounded by 300 people at a table, at a dinner table. Do you know what I mean?
Heartstrings.
Yeah, like, so if they're in this crowded room and I see like people cry, I'm like, I know collectively, but the event planner, the venue, the sound people, what we just showed, it worked. We got them. So that would demonstrate the highest production quality that you could see at an event.
Because you really captured the moment. Yeah, the moments they're memorable when you capture them. Because we do about 600 plus events a year. The number that stand out are less and less because things become very similar. But when you can capture a moment, it's spectacular. I mean, it really is. We have, from a number of years ago, we did something with American Cancer Society, and it was American Heart Association, and there was a young girl that was telling everybody about her experience. It was like gut-wrenching. I mean, but it was amazing because the way she was so young and telling it, and we had recorded that piece and immediately sent it off to our client. Because this was the moment of the day, without a question. And to this day, it's our most watched video clip on YouTube. And it wasn't meant for us. We just sent it to them as a thing. And they sent it all around every chapter because it's exactly the moment you're trying to reproduce, which is really hard. It's really hard.
Wow.
And imagine you miss it. Imagine you didn't record it the way you wanted to, whether it was poor sound, poor video, whatever it was. It wouldn't land. It would be like a joke with a bad punchline. It wouldn't deliver.
Are you telling jokes later?
I gave up stand-up about 4 years ago.
I thought you were more of a straight person, but I think the joker's over here to be clear.
No, I'm not saying it.
No, please don't. Jennifer, you guys have this great venue. What really is like a high-level production look like to you?
So from a venue standpoint and like a salesperson, I would say the TVs or the screens aren't on top of the tables where a chair is getting pulled out and it's going to hit your pole or a wire. The sound is extremely important. I agree. If your mic is going in and out, it's not good. Doesn't look good for us, doesn't look good for you. Wires are properly placed so no one's tripping over them. I think a run through the show, because if it is a high-end event, then there's going to be a lot of speeches and videos. So a proper run through prior to the event. You're ready to go when we're ready to open up the doors. We're not waiting for you. These things are really important for the venue. I also want to note too, like, using proper service entrances is very important. No, you cannot come through the front door. There's a service entrance, and respecting the venue, whether it's the one I work at or others, that's huge for even referrals and recommendations.
Well, these are good points because we have discussed this. You know, it is very important because there's a certain level that they're trying to have at the venue, and we're there to do different work, you know, than that first impression. So usually we're at a loading dock. We're at some other place that's been designated to, you know, for us to enter. And, you know, we have other venues where there's certain security protocols, and we have places you can't walk in the hallways. You have to have a suit and tie to walk in the hallway.
Some places I've worked at have that as well.
Wow.
You know, so
Not the
every
one I'm at right
every
now.
venue is different, and you do have to learn the rules, right? It's like playing any game. You need to learn the rules. So
I do think, though,
excellent.
looking professional, whether it's the company shirt or that you're representing or anything like that, is important too, because when you're setting up, I'm doing tours. So
Excellent
I'm
point.
bringing in either bride and grooms or other corporate clients. I've had a bride and groom come in, and they said, there was a florist setting up, and they were like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Can you get me their information? They ended up doing their wedding.
Ah.
So you're selling and you don't even know it. But during the time you're setting up, I'm usually doing a tour.
Yeah,
So it's
certainly
important.
happens a lot.
Yeah.
And it needs to be organized, and you probably don't want people yelling. And
Right, but if they don't have a audio-visual company, they might say, they might come right up to you and say, can I have your card? There's always an opportunity.
well, that's good. And you actually come from doing certain productions, don't you?
So I started working at a DJ audio-visual company before I went into catering. I actually had to go do an audio-visual job by myself last minute to help out once. I was very young. It was bringing a screen, this was back in the day, and like the projector and I was like, this is a lot. I was like freaking out, it wasn't gonna work. Like, so I understand like what you guys go through.
How'd you do?
It worked.
It did?
Thank God.
You got it done.
Yeah.
You got it.
It's like, I was paranoid. I was like in my 20s. I was so young. I was nervous. They had no one to do it. It was a last minute gig. They were like, Jen, just put up the screen. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. No problem.
It's never just do.
I was
Never
paranoid. I was paranoid. But I gained a respect for what they do and the pressure that you're under too. So, but I did sell DJ and audio visual for a while for a company. So.
Which I never knew until just recently.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. That's how I got into catering. I used to go to the venues and sell, and they offered me a job.
Huh?
Because they used to listen to me, and they were like, we'd like to offer you a job. We were trying to revamp the team, and I said, okay. And that was it.
Well, it's like when you're doing those tours and we're setting up.
Right,
It seems like if you just do the best you can all the time, you'll be okay.
right.
That's a good point. You know, you jumped on the word just. We get that. That is a phone call literally every day. Oh no, it's just a couple of mics and it's just a small
You're
meeting.
absolutely right.
It's just
Not just.
Just, never just.
And then we find out it's just the CEO and it's just the executive board
Yep.
and it's just the most, important people that they know. We're like, I think it's a little more than just,
A little
So
more effort besides just.
does just come up a lot? I mean,
Yes. Yes.
That's so much.
It's just this. It's not just this. It's all the planning that goes behind everything.
why do you think people say just?
They're not in our shoes. They don't know what's what's happening behind the scenes, because we all make it look so easy. And we're not they don't see us sweat. They see the outcome and they're like, oh, everything looks so beautiful, and they don't have no idea what goes on behind, prior to and behind the scenes.
We had a group that were working. It was for 800 people in a giant tent. We've been there for like 2 days setting it up. And when one of the executives came in, he said, if we could just move that about I don't know, 20 feet over there. So for 3 years, I was the person who told her no. That's how she remembered me. I'm like, that's not gonna work out today. I said, we would love to. However, we won't be able to open the doors on time. We need 3 more hours.
Just can't do it.
I think it's okay to say no sometimes.
How should you say no then?
With confidence and explain why. Like you just said, no, because we're not going to get the doors open in time, and then that's going to push back your timeline, and the event's not going to run properly, and you're not going to be able to do everything that you wanted.
Yeah, explain what that action item does to the rest of the day.
Yeah.
That's the knowledgeable and
Always
transparent
giving
part.
the reason why it's a no.
You have to actually know the reason.
You have to know the reason why.
Don't make it up either. Back to transparency and trust.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
make it up.
They'll know.
Yep.
That sounds
Well,
fishy.
because sometimes things sound like a lie.
That's true.
Sometimes they're actually true, but
No,
they
the truth
sound
sounds like a lie. It
Like,
can, yeah.
But if you can relate it at least to something that affects them directly,
Yeah.
I think that makes more sense sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we can't get into the technicality because it doesn't make sense anyways. It sounds like we're just making it up. It's like the flux capacitor, like it's not a real thing, but it's a good point.
Natalie talked about how it's not their world, right? So that's why they don't know. One of our friends, Peter Herrero, right? That's his name?
Yep.
Runs a hospitality group, and he told me, I like think about this every day, because he told me about just running catering and service-minded industry, his restaurants. And he reminded me, he goes, we're the professionals. He was talking about being on the waitstaff, bartenders. It's all service-minded stuff. He goes, when somebody walks to our door, we're the professional service-minded people. He goes, they're not professional customers. They're walking into a restaurant, a venue. Here, for me, it was the first time. I know what I'm doing. I so much appreciated that Artie came up to me. Artie, right? That's your name?
Hardy.
And just explained to me, like, hey, this is he took care of me. I don't know how to get mic'd up. You shouldn't expect that I know how to get mic'd up. The same with them. Show them how to get mic'd up. Talk to them about it. That thing, it just struck like a chord, like I don't forget about what Peter said. And I just wanted to add that, because we have to explain what we're doing in the nicest way with confidence.
Can I also add to that?
Of course.
All right. When our guests of our events, they come through. It's going to be our 10th, our 30th, our 100th, our millionth time doing this event. And it's going to seem mundane. It's going to seem routine. It's just going to kind of see just like, all right, we're going to do X, Y, Z at this time, this time, this time. But to them, it's their first event. It's their first award. It's their first 40 under 40. It's their first women innovators. And that right there just kind of like fuels me, where I want them to have the best experience possible. So that's why I'm 110% day of event, just so they can have that first experience. And it's going to be my 100th experience, but for them, it's the first one.
That's an amazing point. And again, another one that's kind of been reinforced over the last couple of days too. Because maybe we had 10 other events today, but there's only one that matters, and that's the one that you're on. And because it's their most important, like you nailed it, 100%. And sometimes it's hard to keep that perspective, but you do, because you have to think of it from the client's point of view and the audience's point of view. If it sounds poor where you are, it probably sounds worse where they are. So we need to have that perspective. That's actually really helpful.
They never need to know your problems.
Nope.
If you got a battery change you got to do with the lav or something's going on, like that, back to like don't sweat, don't run, don't carry a bunch of, they don't need to know that something's going on. Just handle it.
Those are good points. Natalie, You deal with a lot of different people that probably have seen, a wide variety of experiences. What are the most important kind of actions we can take, or the most important things we can do on site to help you to achieve your goals?
Just being knowledgeable, being prepared, having all of your prep work done, so when my audience and guests start to walk in, everything's done. And it could be even the simple things as just being there to be able to answer any questions, and just checking in regularly. Say, hey, you need anything? You can say I did X, Y, Z, but you're not looking for a pat on the back. You're just letting them know, this is what I've done. All the prep work has been done. This is completed. Let me know if you need anything. I'll be here. And some of your team members actually will say, I'm going to introduce you to so-and-so because I have to go get another thing, but I'll be right back in 15 minutes. And within 14 minutes, they're back. So you guys really set the bar high for everybody else.
Well, you have a lot going on during that time frame.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, I'll kick that same kind of thought over to you. What can we do to help make your life go smoothly in these events?
Just like before this, we got up on stage, we did a mic check. If I'm giving you a video check with the sound and how it looks, would love that. I know it's not possible to always get that a day in advance, but maybe something's going on with the colors and it's not calibrated right and it's something I need to fix on my end. I would love a quick screening to be like, hey, we just watched it. Say good job, it makes me feel better. But also you can be like, hey, these parts maybe here, maybe there. I don't know if that's going to play right. That's asking a lot, but that would be huge to anything like that.
And when you have the time to do that, you can actually find things, which is the reality. We were talking about someone that was an award, not Jeffrey's video. Someone else handed us a video. One of the main honorees had a giant stain on their collar. And apparently in the 85 versions of looking at it, nobody saw it. And so we reached out to the person who created the video, and they got a little bit of a blur effect on there, and so you didn't notice it. But we didn't go running to everybody to tell them that. We went to the person who created it so the problem could be solved, and there wasn't an issue. But it's a good point, because now we try to always play all the videos with sound through to the end, because you never know when it's always going to be at like the 4-minute and 35-second mark of a 5-minute, video. That's where the problem is.
And even worst case, Joe, sometimes I might leave 5 seconds of black in the beginning. So if you're trying to time up that video for maximum impact and start, I'm sure you guys have tried to play a video before and the person's, and now it's the video. And now somebody hits click and then it's like,
yes.
Man, a couple seconds went by, I didn't. Oh, there it is. Now it fades up. So to know that in advance, to anticipate
Absolutely.
would be great.
Yeah, because the first fear is it's not going to work. But
it's is this
it's everyone's universal first fear.
Yeah.
Jennifer, what can we do to make your experience better or your life easier?
I think it's really just coordinating with the operations team with our service that we provide as a venue, and working together. And I think that's the most important thing from our standpoint.
You got a great team. Vin's excellent.
I was going to say, Vin's great.
He's really good.
Vin's great.
He even had a cake made for one Marissa Madonia at one point.
Aw.
Yeah, he really goes above and beyond.
Yeah.
It's really spectacular.
Yeah, we have a great operations team.
We're going to just go through a few more things, then we'll open it up to the floor. But I guess some pet peeves. I'm going to open this up to everybody because I think that's important as well. Because there might be some things we don't even know that we do, But are there any pet peeves or things you've seen AV or production people in general, doesn't have to be us, do that really bother you? And whoever has a thought.
Long stories in the middle of trying to do something.
Okay.
That's a pet peeve.
Long stories.
Unrelated.
Yeah, just if we're trying, if it's 5 minutes to the event and you're I just want to, no, that would not be the right time to do that.
Okay, long stories. Take notes. Yeah. Jennifer, you had something.
So this is gonna sound weird, and I saw this the other day and it drove me insane. There's just walking around, like eating while walking, like, and just drop it. No. No, just no.
No eating
Like,
while walking.
We know you have to eat. We know you have to eat.
No,
but,
that's great.
Walking through the lobby, chomping down on like a bagel is not really a good look.
That's a great point.
Backing
know,
that
we-
one up 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
all-
I wouldn't do that. So,
When you're on the job, when you're doing a job, don't eat. Like, take that time, because that's also ties in with professionalism. Take that time, take that 15 minutes, and like include that in like you're telling the customer, like, okay, it's gonna take 2 hours. It's gonna take 2 hours, but like a half an hour or 15 minutes is gonna be you eating. So say take 2.5 hours so you can actually go eat and do something. Totally fine. Don't eat in front of the client.
yeah, that was.
Or when you like your people are coming in and like you're just stuffing your face,
Yeah, it was
and
so
then come on, and being lazy.
See, I can't make these things up. So.
Yeah,
It's a tough world for us too, because we're not just to have their backs a little bit. We're not always given like the ideal place to eat or the
course.
time to do it. So
Yep.
a lot of times we're thrown in a corner, or you're told to like work while you eat. So I also get it. It's just asking to be more mindful of it. That's all.
yeah. I do hide.
not
I
through the
hide in
lobby.
the
And
corner.
not walking
through the
through the
lobby.
lobby.
I will hide under desks and chairs to eat. Like my team will say that is true. Like I
Yeah.
will hide places to eat because I'll be hungry. Like I'll be like, I should have eaten, or I'm gonna go just grab a quick bite. But I don't want my clients, my audience, my guests to see me eating as I'm like, oh hi, nice to meet you, nom nom.
Right.
So I expect that from my team and my other vendors. I'm telling you, like you guys, you more than welcome to eat. I'm telling you, I tell you, like, all right, go eat. The audience is gonna be here in 15 minutes. Like, get out of here, and then it's fine.
These are good points. Very good points.
What is your pet peeve, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, I have so many.
No, that's
We're not going to cover it. I got a lot, believe me. No, I just want to try to give our, all of our team the ability to learn from others' experiences, So that's what's important to me. All right, final thoughts. Anyone want to comment? How can we, as corporate AV, improve our services to you? Because we're talking about getting better every day. I have to take it too, so.
I want to hear what happens behind your scenes and like our events through your eyes, and see what worked, what didn't work, what can be improved.
Okay.
And also, if you ever want to share, like obviously not day of the event, but like the latest and greatest tech that you guys have, and the best practices that would help us with our events.
That is such a good question, Joe. I don't have an answer. I need more time.
Then
I
we'll
never
s-
need more time.
then we'll
That is
skip it.
such a good answer. Good question.
No, that's a good point. Because, we're doing it every day, right? And so even if you're holding events 20 times and you're holding 100, we're still doing like 10 times more. And you
of course,
see
yeah.
things. You just
I
see
agree
them.
with her though. I don't think we ever get your feedback
Yeah.
to us.
Oh,
Constructive criticism is like
Okay.
that keeps you ahead of the competition.
all right.
Like
Well,
I know they're gonna.
I usually
Can
have
you hear
notes.
me?
So.
Or no?
Uh-oh. What did I just open?
You're going to get it now.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. No, some people welcome that and some don't.
Oh, I need it.
And I think it depends on the group, and it's part of knowing the group and if it'll be received well.
Oh, I have another thing to add. You should get to know the people that actually work at the venue. Specifically the salespeople.
Oh, the people that tell their clients that they're good.
Jen, who should I call? And if I already gain their trust, then they will trust me in my recommendations. We're all connected.
Well,
This is true.
very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, I think it's really important to learn the salespeople.
Excellent point. I felt like that was directed at me.
No, I'm
Oh, no, but I know you.
A
Yeah, but
little
you
bit.
did do that.
as we sorry.
You did do that, Joe.
It's for everybody else.
I think for my company personally, it's similar to yours, where if you have the resources, everybody can have a level playing field in terms of the stuff that you have, the TVs, right? So everybody can buy the same things now. And as we move on with whether it's with AI, robots, and these sort of things, everything will get more automated. The customer service will be more magnified because people will lack it. So what I would say is, if you needed to do anything, it's not that your workers are anything short, but that's where you can separate yourself. I can't separate myself by having the latest camera because somebody else can go buy the same camera, but nobody's going to match the experience that I offer my clients, because from the moment they talk to me to the moment they play the video, everything for me, and talking about Good For You Productions, that's why it's called Good For You, because it's always about them every step of the way. And I don't think anybody's going to match me in that, at least. With cameras, they can. I would just say the same thing for you. It's the service.
I agree with you, 100%.
And keep it human.
Yeah.
I say that a lot. If you don't want them to see you as a salesperson. You want them to see you as human.
It's true.
Well, it's all the relationship building.
It's totally that.
And all of you are excellent at relationship building. So we have a few minutes left, so I want to take a few questions while we have the opportunity. Maybe someone could help us. Do we have any questions in the audience?
Let's take a look at the audience and see some I see a few.
Hello. First, I just wanted to say thank you so much for just coming and talking to us. I appreciate that. With having a lot of, you probably have a lot of work and clients to do. With someone who has trouble staying organized, what would you say is the best way to stay organized?
Siri.
Really?
Just organized in life in general, with clients.
Like, let's say you get flustered or you got a lot going on and you're having a hard time focusing. How would you stay organized and focused?
Yes, I'm sort of being serious then, because I would offload that. That's not meant to stay in your head anyway. You don't need to have the catalog of when and where and all. You should have a reference board or something. So I have multiple things. Like when I have different things where live jobs, leads, like maybe and they're there in front of me. I walk into my office, I see them. They're also on Google Calendars. There's Siri reminders to follow up with these people. So there's so many things that I can remember. What I can't, I offload to something else. We have so much technology to be able to do that. Don't stress yourself on not being able to remember anything.
I love my calendar.
Yeah.
I write everything down on my calendar. I have it on my phone, and from appointments to meetings and Excel sheets, and just writing everything down. Pretty close to Siri.
If you don't have a calendar, that would be like today.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he made it here for the last 3 days, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Organized. Yeah.
At minimum, like you start at calendar.
All right.
Good point. Another question?
Hello. Thank you
Hi.
for all your tips and tricks. My question is, I know we mostly talk about what can we do to have the clients come back, but what is something that you guys look for to want to stay with them?
Ooh, good question.
Money. Right? Did I hear the question right?
I'm sorry.
Why do you want to stay with the client?
Why do I want? Because it's a mutual respect. So that's why, it's money. So if I do something and it works well for them, they come back to me the next year and they say, hey, that was nice, but we don't have that budget this year. Can you do it for less? I'm not that interested in that client because they're not seeing the value that I brought. There was no reason to reduce a cost unless, it should be a mutual respect. I don't want a client calling me up at 10 o'clock at night. The same way I don't want to get them hysterical by being disorganized or running around and stuff. I want them to be organized too. So if they're always calling me to put out a fire that's in there, I don't want to necessarily work with them either.
That was honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is a balance.
Sorry.
I mean, it's true. Especially after you get to a certain point where you've kind of already gone through everything, and after COVID, we joke around with, I only hire people I like now. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
You have to.
like, I got to do this all day. So, and fortunately, we have a tremendous group of people, and we're very fortunate. But you got to do the same thing with clients, too.
Yeah.
If there's someone you really don't enjoy working with, you're probably not going to give them your best work.
Correct.
And do you want to keep doing that? Sometimes you have to. There's no question. But it's time to start looking for another client, to be very honest.
Yeah, I just have a deep-rooted belief that, like, I don't want to spend any extra time somewhere where I am not valued. That's just how I live my life all the time. And that's not like it's not to say like they're jerks. I'm not saying that. It's just if this isn't right, let's move on. You're going to find somebody else.
Maybe
that
you're
needs
not
that.
the right person.
Right, it's just not the right fit.
It's not the
a
right
fit.
fit.
Compatibility.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not the right fit.
Better way to say that.
Okay, hold on. Thank you.
I do have a question, but I just wanted to throw in about talking about just. It's just. We had one of our sales guys telling us this is just, and it turned out it was Roger Daltrey at Lincoln Center. How is that just anything?
Just nothing.
Yeah, it was the Who.
Here's the question though.
Like, oh.
How important is it for a vendor to make a client comfortable?
100%. Hands down, to be comfortable. So I could trust you, and you're reliable, and I can really sleep easy knowing that, corporate AV is doing my AV, and I know that's gonna go off without a hitch. And I need that stability and trust in the vendor, whether it's corporate AV or the venue or our DJ. I want our event to succeed, and it's really great when the vendor also wants the event to succeed.
People
Good answer.
will people will forget what you say, but they'll never forget
Facts.
how you made them feel. It's huge.
Yep.
I live by that every day, even in my personal life.
Yeah.
Hello, thanks for being here. My question's for the panel, kind of specifically Jeffrey. I'm a video editor in Croton-on-Hudson. I almost sent you a resume once, and I was like, nah, never mind, I won't work at corporate AV.
Sorry, dude.
So my question is...
Don't tell me your name.
I got a name tag. So I guess my question for everybody on the panel is, for what feels like, I'm starting off a freelance business doing video and audio mixing on the side. It feels like kind of the only way to get your content out there is through rampant social media promotion, Instagram reels, like short form content, and it's kind of a bit of a drag. Do you guys have any input on sort of client outreach or garnering, new potential business partners or people you work with outside of just rampant short form social media promotion?
Well, so you're talking about a trend where you have 1 million people going in one direction. So if you go in that direction, you're going to blend in. How do you stand out? Do something different. Go look at my social media for Good For You Productions. I do like nothing. I'm not telling you it matters. I'm not telling you it doesn't matter. But what I did, because I used to be what you were thinking, like how you are 16 years ago, 15, like slow times, or how do I break into this? So I found my niche, which is storytelling for nonprofits to raise money. And I'm busy all year round. So it's just the grind until you find out where you fit, where somebody values you. That's what it is.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again for answering our questions today. Question, I've noticed most of us here are new. So what I've noticed during our training is we don't know what we don't know. So to you guys, what's more important during an event? Is it following chain of command, or is it just doing what you guys, because you all seem like point people at events. So is it more important for us to do what you need us to do, or follow chain of command and speak to who our supervisor would be?
It's great when you can see things that we don't. Like I flip it back on you. Like, if you can get ahead of a problem that she's going to have in a venue because you see how that crew is working and be like, hey, Jennifer, I think if we do it this way, you're going to run into this problem, and you save a headache for her in advance, I think that's huge. So it's not always chain of command.
Proactive, not
Yeah.
reactive.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good question. That was a good question.
Good afternoon, guys. I don't think this is a two-part question, but I know you guys had brought up before about keeping things human when it comes to the client and vendor relationship, especially with how technology has been moving forward. So my question for the panel is, how do you guys try to either maximize the human aspect of when dealing with vendors and clients when it comes to work ethics?
I feel like that's for you guys.
You can go first.
That's a good question. I just like people to understand where I'm coming from, and then they can tell me where they're coming from with their expertise and their knowledge, and they can show me what they have, and we can collaborate and make either a great event or like realize if like we're not a great fit or not. And that's how I like to kind of keep it human, and also like meeting in person. Like it is really tough like lately to be like working with Zoom because all you just see is a face on the screen. But it really goes behind like how much you know and how much we want to kind of like work together and like get to that ultimate goal together.
We're going to take, we'll take one more because we're a little past time, but if there's one more question, happy to take it.
I've got one.
Oh,
Well, I might as well, right? So
Fire
you
away.
guys have, thank you again for being here. I love working with each and every one of you since I am on the sales team of corporate AV. You all spoke about pet peeves. I was wondering if there's anything that you've noticed while on an event with us that has impressed you.
oh, the other side.
That has
of the
impressed
coin.
us?
Yeah.
Besides the beautiful red carpet.
What have you seen an AV team do that has impressed you?
It's
If
really
any.
little things, like just checking in and making sure everything's okay, everything's prepared and well in advance.
Yeah. Oh, I just have a trust, so it's,
Yeah.
it's, if I ask the client who they're using and they say your name, I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I'm
I
good.
watched.
Like, there's no worry.
I don't know who it was. I saw him before. I saw one of your crew work with one of your clients, and an hour before the show started, he was retiming the run of show, and I'm sure it was such a headache for him to do it. Your technical director, or I don't know what you call it, and I'm sure he didn't want to do it, and I'm sure it caused other headaches for everybody else, but the client didn't know it. And he reordered whatever the client wanted to, and then when the client walked away, it was like, "Here's what we got to do. It's like, let's go do this. We got to make this happen." That's what I'm talking about. Like that's huge. The client doesn't need to know any of the drama. Just we can do it. We'll figure it out. It's like, oh, this is gonna suck, but here we go.
That customer service face is really important.
Huge.
Like, yeah, okay, we got it.
He has no idea to this day. That client. That's great.
That's a really good point because that's what this panel is for. Right? We've just been working on technical skills, the hands-on for 3 days, which is the core of our work, but we're still in the service business, we're still hospitality.
Yeah.
And what our clients, the reason they hire us is not necessarily for the skills that we have.
No.
It's for the results. And so we kind of always edge towards results, and all the, very kind things you guys have said is the reason, that I think we've been around for a while. So it's really good. Well, look, we're going to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. Let's put our hands together. We have come to the end of Pirate University. I know, hold your tears. But we might even do it again next year. We've got some new feedback, so we're always looking for information. Everybody, just make sure you can pass that along. But I think that's it. So thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Good luck,
We're a
Saturday.
wrap.